Be what it do, players. It's been way, way, way too long since being on the show, motherfuckers. So what's everybody been doing, man? Look, I just want to put this out there first and foremost. I fucking hate the fact that the Golden State Warriors are in the finals. Okay, I cannot stand the fans. I cannot stand the goddamn team. I cannot stand everything. I don't want them to win. But unfortunately, the fucking Heat and the Celtics have gone to Game 7. They're going to be tired as fuck. I don't know whether anybody can actually beat them. Now, while I have to worry about all this drama, in the meantime, the Lakers have gone and hired a piece of ham as their next coach. I got no idea what's happening in the world of baseball. All I know is they're very overpaid players and they're all falling by the wayside. I can't break all this shit down alone. So thank fuck for me. I got two of my homeboys in the house. Guys, what's going on, man?
Yo, how's it going? It's been a
What
long time, my man.
some crazy, crazy, crazy fucking news. Firstly, nobody expected. I think many were hoping the Phoenix Suns would make the finals. This was the turn, CP3's turn to win it and all that. What do you guys think about them losing out and not making the finals?
I I didn't think it was that surprising, to be honest. I didn't think that they'd go all the way. I like CP, but it's hard. It's hard for the stars to align. I said at the beginning of the season, it was really interesting. We had lots of predictions, but one of my predictions was that the Aiton wasn't going to pan out, and that's still debatable. I think he had a solid season, but they didn't go as far as they needed to go.
I think Phoenix Suns is a very good regular season team, but into the playoff, they just don't have the superstar power. I think you really need a superstar in order to win a championship. And then I guess when you're in playoff, people attack CP3, and then he's just not tall enough, not strong enough. He gets injured. So it's unfortunate. Yeah. But I think yeah, looks like this is probably his last chance. And then I really wanted him to win a championship, win a ring.
The brother's 37, man.
I was just going to get into that. See, the thing is, he just signed a 4-year contract, and he's going to be paid 39 million a year on average. So it's going to be 160. It's 159 million for 4 years, all the way until he's 40. So and then I'm looking at the highest paid players' salaries this year, right? I'm just going to bring it up. You have a look. Out of this list, almost all of the guys in the top list, except LeBron James and maybe Giannis, don't deserve that money. But they have over bloated contracts going to last for a long time. Let me get it bigger. Hold up. All right, you see that? Now you see Steph Curry, no problem. I got no problem with 45 million. James Harden, huge problem, 44. John Wall, bigger problem, 44. Russell, what the fuck, 44. LeBron James, no problem. Giannis. Lillard, I don't have an issue with it. The guy's lights out, he got injured. Kawhi Leonard has played 8 games in 3 years. 39 million. Paul George, no problem. Here and there. Klay Thompson, badly injured. And then look at that, man. The top, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving played what? 5 games this season? It's ridiculous. The money is so ridiculous. And they keep signing these huge contracts. And they keep relying on these guys as the superstar for Phoenix instead of maybe saving that money and trying to invest again. Now, my point is this. They don't last. They can have incredible regular season games, but they don't last in the playoffs. And then you're putting all the fucking burden on CP3 as though he's going to win them title. I like the fact that Pat Beverly is coming on ESPN and roasting him. Have you seen that? Have you guys seen Pat Beverly on ESPN? Absolutely shade, man. Boom, right in your face. I like it. I'm not a CP3 fan. I think the guy, plays a lot of politics and all that here and there. And I think he's, like Pat Bev said, he's been overblown. So why aren't we calling him out? So I'm calling him out. I'm thinking the Aiton thing, I don't know, man. I think the way they played him, maybe because that 2 years ago, his stats were better than the past 2 years. Now he's just like very consistent and steady. But if you're going to have the ball in the guy who's supposed to shoot, you don't want to go to the paint enough. The 22, 23-year-old fella, I don't think is going to be able to carry the franchise. So now you got to pay him another 150 million for 3 years. It's fucked up, man. Devin Booker is
But
not
you,
even
I
in the
don't
top
think they're going
20.
to pay him the max. They don't want to pay him the max
yeah,
at the
that's
moment.
what I think.
Who Aiton? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Now, do you think they should resign him though? Now he's a free agent.
I think they should still try to resign him, but paying him max. If he's asking for max, then I'm not sure. Maybe they will consider trading him, do a sign and trade or something. The worst is that they lose him in a free agency. Then I think is he unrestricted, right? He's unrestricted.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Hmm.
I didn't get do a deep dive. Yeah. So restricted means you only can speak to a few teams, or the team can match, right?
the team can
That's
match.
right.
Team
Yeah.
can match. So if somebody gives a contract, he can match it. If they match it, then he has to stay. Yeah, okay, okay. I'm sure their team they'll want to go for him because New Orleans may lose Zion. I don't know what's happening over there. Don't know Jonas Valanciunas whether he's going to continue staying. I don't know what's happening with the Wizards also. I thought Spencer DVD played quite well with the man, so he might stay there. But I think what I want to get out of the way is this large contracts for players that can't produce. Let's talk about James Harden. What in the fuck, man?
Hmm.
Like seriously, what do you all think about this whole saga, man? How he ended up Philly? Do you think Philly should keep him? Should I try to offload him?
Um, well, he is still a very, very good player. He's probably not an MVP caliber player anymore, but he is still like probably a all-star kind of player. So I think Philly should still try to resign him, but probably paying him a super max is not a great idea. Um, I will probably try to resign him, but negotiate to a better deal. Because he's just not the Houston James Harden anymore. I don't think.
Jason, do you think it would work out when he went there?
I, d- I didn't think that I didn't think that he'd work out that well.
Yeah, I mean, neither.
I thought they gave up too much for him. That was my initial gut feeling. But I mean, give him credit. He's an incredible player. It's just he's had a precipitous fall, and it's funny. I've never been a massive fan of James Harden because I think the style and the way he plays doesn't win championships. Like that's my view, and it's proven true thus far. But it's incredible how there's either something wrong with him, or he's injured in some way, shape, or form, or he's just not, or he's hit the age cliff and he's just gone, he's dived. Because it's incredible how far his scoring prowess has fallen. And a lot of people say, don't judge him on his scoring, judge him on his passing. But ultimately, when you've got your franchise pillar out for a period of time in Embiid, I was surprised he didn't step up. Truthfully,
I watched those
I was
games,
surprised at that.
I watched those games, and I remember the game, the game 6, is it when they lost? What was it, game 7? Whatever. That last game when they lost, right? They went into the fourth quarter. They were only like I can't remember. I might be like 4 points down or 3 points down, right? Now Embiid is a little bit injured. He's not sitting out. Maxi and this fellow was starting, right? Started the fourth quarter. They gave the ball to Harden. He lost the fucking ball 3 times in a minute or a minute and a half. And next thing you know, they scored 2 threes and one. They charged the rim 6, 7, 8 points, and next thing you know, they're already behind 15 points. And Harden didn't chase down the ball when he lost it. He turned the ball over 4 or 5 times in that. It was very fast. Got it, boom. What? Save, block, boom, score. Start again, boom, again. He fucked up. He never chased the ball. And then he's looking at Maxi, what the fuck are you doing? I was just asking myself, right? How the fuck could Philly and Doc say, or whose fucking decision was it that, yo, Harden doesn't want to stay there, we can get him. We'll send this clown fucking Simmons over there, and then we're going to challenge for a title. Of course, it's unfortunate that Embiid had that, he smashed his eye socket or whatever, he couldn't see. If not, I think they would have won. Honestly, I think they would have won. But to actually have the presence of mind to say that I can rely on James Harden, you must be joking, man. Even a non-pro fella like me, okay, you say the guy can shoot and all that, but I thought you need to defend as well. I don't know. I'm just.
He just never had a good track record in playoff. He's always just struggles. I was I heard that according to those tracking camera, like the track the speed. I think his first step has slowed down quite a bit. That's why he cannot get by
Mm.
people. Um, Probably due to his hamstring, and he just hasn't looked after his body that well. Doesn't he just
She looks fat.
gain
Yeah.
weight, doesn't off season, he's just do a partying too much, and then now he's not young anymore. It's just really hard to maintain. So I think I'll see. I think I'm not sure if it's due to his hamstring. If he continue to rehab, maybe he can get back. You know, he can play definitely a bit better, but probably still not the Houston James Harden. I think he needs to change his mindset. He can still be a really good facilitator, but he can't be a 30-point scorer
Well,
anymore.
if all the hype was on Maxi, and if you're
Yeah.
talking about Maxi in a series where he's your second prize scorer,
Mm,
you're not going to win a chip, right? You're just not going to win a chip if
yeah,
Maxi's your second best player.
that's right.
Yeah, but like, can we rely on Harden? That's my thing. I feel like if it's him and one other person cannot, I think you need another, a third superstar. And also, I think I'm with Joe. So I think you can't. I think if you want him in the team, sure, because he can produce, but he has to change the way his mindset, and the teams cannot rely on him to be the main or the two. He should very most likely be the three because he's still fat, man. What the fuck? That tummy. He's been there all season long. And if the hamstring is there, it's probably because of the tummy and he's unfit, like you said. So I'm kind of thinking that he's a waste of time. I feel that the Phillies should try their best to offload him. Uh, you know, put the money in the youngsters. You're going to lose picks, whatever lah. Whatever it is, whatever it is. Daryl
Sign and
Morey.
trade him away.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So I think Harden should get the fuck out. Okay, now let's move on to our predictions for the final. I said already, I don't want the Golden State to win jack shit because I felt, I want to say that was a dirty play. That was a dirty play on that knee, son. That knee doesn't look like a basketball. What the fuck? If you play tennis and you maybe grab your tennis ball or something, I'm fine. Maybe he was at Stonewall and wanted to grab his nuts. But that knee was down. What the fuck was going on? Tell me what do you all think about that play, man? That play between Jamoran, sorry, Jordan Poole pulling Jasa. This one.
You start, Joe.
Um, I guess I guess sometimes I don't think he did it on purpose. He just during that moment he just tried to grab whatever, try to slow down Ja, but unfortunately he grabbed his knee. But even I think I thought even before that play, Ja might have hurt his knee already. Um, but I'm not I don't think it's on purpose. Yeah.
Jason?
I've seen it. I've seen it numerous times. I mean, personally, I didn't know what the big deal was.
Yeah.
It did. I didn't think it was malicious. I didn't think he was doing it deliberately. There's a bit of contact, but basketball has a bit of contact in it.
Mm.
For me, it wasn't a huge deal. I like Golden State, to be fair, but my team is the Celtics, so go to Celtics. But I was a bit annoyed that they lost today.
Yeah,
Miami's not the type of team that you want to play 7 games with, but there we go. We'll see. But the Celtics should pull through.
Well, that's interesting. I thought, hang on, let me bring it up here. I can bring it up. Hold up. All right, let me get this. All right. Let me see where that play is. So is somebody playing with some keychain or something? There you go. The sound went off. Check this out. I think it's here. All right. There, he was nowhere near the ball, bro. Look at that. What's this? You see that? You see what I'm saying? The ball is there. His hand is here. His eyes are looking at his knees. Now, if I play that in slow mo, it's a straight up proper yank down the bottom of the below of the knee. If anybody's had any injuries with your knees and it's loose, you know a small little yank like that will make you uncomfortable. Then from that uncomfort, it can get worse and worse and worse because these fellas are jumping and landing, jumping and landing. You need to do that fast movement and all that. So I'll beg to disagree with both of you. I think it was very, very calculated and dirty play because of the Dylan Brooks and the fractured arm on Gary Payton. And I think it was very heated when they were playing. They just kept things under control because that's how Steve Kerr does. But Steve Kerr also fired the flames or whatever you fucking want to call it, fuel the fire because he said Dylan Brooks broke the code. Now, Draymond and all not there didn't go and retaliate. He said, okay, next time we go and blast them. So what you do, you go for the main fella because after that, the coach also said, yeah, he felt discomfort right after that. So if the hand, in my opinion, I say if the hand was not there, he didn't. These fellas are strong, like you said. It's a contact sport, so it may look like it's nothing to us, but when he's there, it's a proper pull. So I think sometimes the magnitude of how it happens in real life, we kind of put it past us. But he didn't play the next game. Game 4, game 5 didn't play, and then he got out. So I want to see what are the repercussions are going to happen after this because Jordan Poole is playing insane right now. Absolutely fucking insane. Like if they win the title, I think he's going to be one of the guys who they really have to put it to, and not so much Andrew Wiggins, in my opinion, lah. Now back to the Heat and Celtics. I want somebody to win this game convincingly so that somebody can actually beat the Warriors in the finals with some proper rest because they are playing too good. What do you think about this? How Jimmy Butler and Celtics kind of like it's going so much back and forth, man. One game this fellow's playing well, the other fellow's playing ass. Jimmy Butler plays well today. Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart meets all point, and Robert Williams is hardly in the team. Can the Celtics actually beat the Warriors in the finals?
Um, I think they can definitely. But if you want me to pick a team, I think I'll probably still go for Golden States. Just purely because health will be one key concern. I just don't think Boston is healthy enough. Golden State had a lot of injuries early in the season, but they're sort of getting better and better as the season goes. Right, people coming back, they play better and better. Whereas Boston is that they play unbelievably since January, and but Marcus Smart, mid-foot sprain, Robert Williams just. I think he's still not right with his knee, right? So they're always in and out, so that hurts their chemistry. If Boston is fully healthy, I think they are probably the best team in the East from East, in my opinion, that they can beat Golden State because even not this year, like a few years ago, without Robert Williams or this team, the coach. I think they actually make it quite tough for Golden State because just purely their defense, their length, they really bother Golden State. But now if they're not healthy, Golden State now they have Jordan Poole, they've got
Clay is also doing well.
Clay's gone nuts,
Clay is
man.
going nuts, yeah.
I think Andrew Wiggins is probably the key. If Andrew Wiggins can play like the way he did for Dallas, I think Golden State is gonna win. But if Andrew Wiggins struggles, then it's hard to say.
So you think Celtics will beat Hitler on Monday, right?
They
Tomorrow or day
should.
after.
I'm very surprised that they lost today because I guess Jimmy Butler had a huge game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but Jimmy Butler, I think he just can't. His knee, I think it's just not right. I don't think he can play another. He can just. I don't think he can play another great game in 2 days time. Um,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I think Butler's really interesting, right? He's certainly knocked on the door of a superstardom, but he's inconsistent, and I think the inconsistency is maybe it's to do with health,
Hmm.
right? He's not completely right, but he had a monster game today. But if you stack them on paper, and paper doesn't always win, but even if you stack them to their fullest potential, the Boston Celtics, even when they lose, they have a chance. Whereas when the Heat wins, it takes something extraordinary for them to get across the line. And so everything being equal, I think the Celtics are the better team. They should win. But I mean, if they don't, I think that's that's a shock. But they have a better team, and they actually pair really well up against Golden State. They're
Hmm.
big, they're long, they're athletic, they can switch everything. Again, health is the key here, but they match up really, really well. I believe they can win, but I think Golden State should be favorite.
I see. I feel Heat. Seem a bit like maybe I don't know what's the word, like patchwork. Okay, today blah blah we did this bad yesterday, so the next game we got to do this better, and then let's see how it goes. The team that seems more organized is definitely the Golden State Warriors. I feel the one with the weapons are the Celtics. And I think the key, if they make it to the final, I think they'll win also. I'll just put it out there. I want them to win. I want Celtics to win, and I think they can give the Warriors a better chance. But I really hope Marcus Smart gets in there somebody's skin. Fuck the Warriors and the flow and all the. You need to get under the skin. You need to upset these fellas. And going and playing in their home, in their new stadium is crazy. The atmosphere is superb, very nice. I like watching the matches there. But somebody's got to get under their skin or they're screwed. Because from the first game onwards, Draymond and all going to be on point. Clay is going to be shooting. No one's going to be able to defend them. Robert Williams can't even play half an hour without. Fuck, man, the guy damn good. He reminds me like a Miles Turner, but just not as durable. Damn crazy when he's in that paint there, bro. It's insane. He just runs up the middle, and then if you do some quick transition, get him the ball, he'll just put the ball inside. When he feels it, he can read the game well. He's going to definitely get you about 5 blocks. I mean, he's just not a great shooter. Lah. And I'm like, damn, if this fella was there, maybe even at 70%, probably I'll put it at 50-50 in the final if Golden State and Celtics. But with the guy not there, I think Marcus Smart has to really step up, man. These two boys cannot miss. Jalen Brown and Tatum, if they start missing, everybody in Golden State is scoring. Who's not?
I think the thing with I think the thing that's interesting is the style, right? Golden State's a very much a finesse team. They're the epitome of finesse. Boston are athletic. They're long. They're bulldogs. Everyone in the starting line are actually really good defenders, and including the defensive player of the year. They've got the style, and they're rough and bully, right? They play bully ball. So they've got the ability to trouble them, but whether whether they've got enough firepower, I think, because Golden State, what's interesting is, and I like they're my second favorite team. They are loose with the ball, so they'll go through periods where they'll just outshoot you, right? But they're not careful with the ball in a lot of the games. It's pretty fluid, so they open the door. And you probably can't open the door too much for a team like Boston, assuming that they get through the Heat, which I do expect them to get through.
Joe?
Um, yeah, I think I agree that I think health is the key concern, and even I guess I can understand the style of play. I think Boston really did really well. Their defense they got through Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, right? They also got through Giannis. Now they can beat Heat. But I guess Golden State is a different team. They've got so much great shooting. They got so much offensive power. They are also a very good defensive team. I think it's underrated. And I think Gary Payton is coming back. My understanding.
Yeah. They're saying he's going to be healthy for the series.
I just think that experience would also play a key here. This is their sixth final in 8 years. So they've got their core, Splash Brothers, Draymond. Now they've got Wiggins and Poole. They also got Moody's, Kamingas. They all, I think play in the system quite well. I think, yeah, I think I think this will probably go to like game 7. Given that Golden State has home court, they got experience. I think they have the edge, and also health. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if the final most likely is a wrap there, unless these guys can find something lah. And like if the Heat make it, at least something extraordinary, like Jason said. Now, Lakers hired a new coach, man. Who the fuck is this guy? I got no idea, man. I don't know what's going on.
I didn't keep up with it. Who is the coach?
David Ham. Oh, sorry, David Ham. Something Ham. There's a Ham behind his name.
HAM.
HAM. He was with the.
He is the
Bucks.
assistant coach from Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh. He played for 8 years.
Yeah. I don't know him, but I've heard a lot of people talking great things about him. He's at least he coached Giannis, and Giannis actually gave him a really really good praise. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he's a bit like maybe the Boston Celtics coach, right? And they've never.
No one ever heard of him, mate.
Yeah, but he's being being assistant coach for
Spurs.
for good teams, and then coach a lot of superstar. And also the key architect sort of behind those championship teams. So I think I wouldn't say it's a bit higher. But in saying that, I don't think it's enough to fix Lakers' problem. They need to do more. But hopefully, this is a good start. I think yeah. Hopefully, you have to get LeBron spying. If he's okay with it, then I think there shouldn't be a problem.
It was funny, Joe. Remember at the beginning of the season, we all made predictions, and you just didn't rate the Lakers. So right, you were.
I didn't rate them. I didn't rate them
either. I wanted them from a nostalgic perspective to get all the old timers across the line. Man, they flamed out so bad.
We didn't. We both said Joe didn't put them in the top 3. I said they're the sleeper if everyone's healthy. I said fuck all the pundits saying they're contenders. You must be joking. They are doing their job too much. Their brain is fucked up. When looking from a reality standpoint, I'm a LeBron guy. How the fuck can I say this season they're going to be contenders when even for a guy who doesn't know NBA that well, I can see the other teams way stronger. Get the fuck out, man. That was stupid. So now we got Darvin Ham in the house. So he was 4 years with the thing, like Joe said. He was a player for here and there, and he won a title with the Pistons, 2004 or 2004. Yeah, 2004 with the Pistons. So backroom guy, up and coming guy, because they also interviewed Stotts and another fella. The Stotts fella, so I also don't know. I mean, he's been around lah. And Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson would have been funny if he came in.
He can't get a coaching job.
I tell you,
it's been so many years.
Yeah, social media going crazy teasing him. Mark Jackson on the way to interview not to get a job. He's like, all kinds of shit for. Mark Jackson's getting roasted.
Probably, if he wants to go back to coaching, he probably won't need to stop the
commentary.
Yeah. I think he needs to get an assistant coaching job first. A bit like what Jason Kidd's doing. I know he's been a head coach before, but he hasn't coached for a long time. So it's a different world now. You have to be able to work with superstar and also young players as well. It's a different generation.
That's why this is what Mark Jackson said in the interview.
That process, I don't know what went into that process. I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
You know where this is from, right? You all know where this is from, right? The Last Dance.
No.
The Last Dance.
Okay.
Remember when they were interviewing for the Dream Team?
That's good.
I don't know. I met the critic. I love this, man.
Still so bitter. So many years later.
I tell you, that series is really everlasting. I'm watching it again on episode 5 or 6. It's beautiful. I like watching it. So Mark Jackson is being trolled like fuck on social media, man, because every time he goes for a job thing, he's always being mentioned. He's not getting it. My thing is, right, I think I'm going to lose interest very fast in basketball once LeBron retires. I think the Lakers need to get rid of Russell Westbrook. I think that's a huge contract which fucked up. I like the fact when Magic Johnson came out a couple of months back and said, Debo wanted to come back. I called Rob. I called the girl, the owner, Jeannie. I said, hey, Debo wants to come. He's free. He wants to come home. And then LeBron and AD got to talking with Rich Paul. And they said, hey, no, Russ. They're talking with Russ. Russ wants to come. So they said, bring Russ. What a fuck up. Debo went in to do so many nice things with Chicago. They fucked up in the playoffs as usual, for a few fellas injured. Zach wasn't up to scratch. The other team was better. But you see what I'm saying? Now you get this Darwin Ham coach, you're giving him a chance. He probably won't be as expensive because the one running the team is LeBron James. I'm just saying. I feel it's like a puppet. I don't know. It's a 4-year contract. Ty Lue wanted 3. He didn't get 3. They wanted to give him 2. Now suddenly you're giving these guys 4. Frank Vogel was a championship winning coach. No matter what anyone says, I don't give a fuck. He won the title in the COVID. You let him go, it's not his fault. Now, if they going to move into next season, still keeping Russell Westbrook, who's that fella, Niang or Kendrick Nunn didn't play a single game. Trevor Ariza sitting down there, fashioning himself out, hardly play. What the fuck's happening with the Lakers, guys? This coach is not going to save the day.
They're snookered, man. I think they're done. Like Russell's contract. Who's going to take it? A sign and trade, maybe only with Houston and John
44
Wall.
mil, bro. Next season, 45 mil.
They're done, and there's talk then they will waive him as well if they can't get a sign and trade.
Wow, what a monumental waste of money, Fuck. It's crazy. Waiving means pay. He doesn't have to play, right? He can sign with another team, right?
Yeah, they've got to back. Depending on what contract he signs with another team, then they've got to make up for the difference.
The only good thing is his last year of his contract, so it's expiring. So if he doesn't get traded this off season, maybe during around All-Star break, that'll become like less than 20
Someone
million.
might want his contract.
Yeah, someone might want the contract, and then I think if I were Lakers, I will try to find a team. So trading Westbrook to get maybe 2 role players who can play with LeBron and AD, 3 and D guy, something like that. But even then, I expect next year that West will become even better. So even they can trade away Ross and be they can probably still be a playoff team, but I don't think they will be a top tier playoff team.
Oh, so you think they should keep, huh? They should keep Russell. Or trade if you can get 2, but if not, you still feel he can contribute. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting for him because he seems really pig-headed. I like him. I like him as a player. I like how hard he goes, but he seems really pig-headed as a player. I thought if anyone could make it work, LeBron could make it work. I was surprised by how bad they were this year. But if he has another bad year, I mean, he could be out of the league.
With that age,
this is a top 75 player, first ballot Hall of Famer. He could go the Melo route.
And he couldn't shoot at all this season.
And he can't shoot. And he can't shoot as well. Right? At least Melo has a mid-range game.
Correct.
And he's actually improved his three-point game.
Right. And I just couldn't believe that all these frailties were now showing because his age. He couldn't push off. He couldn't. He even when he drove to the basket, he kept missing. I'm like, wow, LeBron, you the cerebral player, no, the savant, the whatever the fuck. The savant didn't pick this out. I mean, AD being injured, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, it's just you gotta ask God to bless him one season, keep him injury free. But come on, man, Russ, man, it's just terrible. I sincerely hope they are able to get rid of him, and like Joe said, get some role players, man. 'Cause fuck this. This is crazy. I hope he does better. If they can't get rid of him, I hope he's able to improve because three of them, if they all can play well together, they can get some stuff. But I think for the future, right, if you want to put the ball in Russell's hands so much again next season, when I think the other teams are going to get stronger, time out. Darwin Nunez, whoever the fuck, Matt Darwin from the fellow who created whatever the scientist, nobody's going to come and save the Lakers next season if this continues.
To be fair, I guess, I mean, if Lakers cannot trade away Ross, right, if he's still playing, obviously, it's not like all his fault because it's just a different system that he's used to when he's in OKC, Houston, even Wizard. They've got shooters, right? And then he's the one drive and kick. Lakers, right? They just don't have any spacing, right? It's like AD used to be a good 3-point shooter, but not anymore for some reason. The last 2 years, he's a subpar 3-point shooter. LeBron is okay, but there's no one actually who can space the floor, and Russ can't operate in that style. So if they still want Russ to be the point guard of Lakers, they need to change their team pretty much. But I just don't know how they can do that. They got so many, I guess old players or it's just I don't know how they can actually change. It's gonna be tough.
Hey, one person I've been surprised and really I don't know, surprised. I've never really rated him. AD.
Yeah.
They were talking that he was going to be a 1. I'm not even sure he's a 2. I think on a championship team, he may be a 3. That's like
you might have a point there, because of the consistency.
And it's because of his health, right? But also more so than his health, he's mentally weak. He's not hungry. He's not a dog, man. I think he got happy after that chip, and it's been really surprising. Most people after a chip, they're hungry. They want more. Or at least the very best do. But it's that's been surprising for me somewhat.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on that?
I think the initial injury was bad. Then they tried to rush him back. Then he went up for the ball, stepped on the fella's leg, and then he tried to come back. Then after it was the knee. I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? So they called him out and said, in the off season, he's not working hard enough like LeBron. So I'm thinking, okay, this is the first time I'm hearing it this season where because of all the injury, right leg, then left leg and all that, they're saying, hey, off season he's not working enough. I want to see what you want to do now. Because you already didn't play, right? So many seasons you went for operation or whatever it is. Your season started because you didn't even make the play in. So now I want to see what he's going to do in this off season, and then come back and get into the 1 or 2. Because like right now, to rely on him, of course, when he won the title in that COVID and all that, he was playing lights out. Everything went in, threes went in, blocks were there, fewer games, not as many.
They had like a 3-month or 4-month hiatus.
and their health can stay. You didn't play as many games, what? So I was like, okay, fine. But now it's showing. And with LeBron James getting older, being able to last longer than you, you're right, lah. He has no excuse. He got no excuse.
He's not a 1. He's not a 2.
Yeah. Yeah. People are. It's just the media sometimes the way they hype up. Next season with Kawhi Leonard coming back also, I'm guessing he might take maybe longer than Klay Thompson to get back to full flow. So Clippers are trying to claim that they are the fellas in LA, but I think it's going to be. I don't know. I don't think both LA teams are going to go anywhere next season. It most likely will be the same. Giannis. Yeah. By the way, just want to put it out there. I think Bucks lost because Chris Middleton wasn't there. I'm just saying.
I know. I agree. I agree.
Right? If not, different story, man. I'll be Bucks all the way to the final. Bucks will be the ones able to take down Golden State. But right now,
I think Bucks would. They would really bully Golden State. That would be interesting.
Yeah, Grayson Allen couldn't figure it out.
Middleton's really underrated, but he's their number 2. Well and clearly, he's number 2. Like Drew, he doesn't score. He's a defensive point guard, right? You can't ask him to score more than 15 points.
I mean, but he can when he wants to. That's where his value is. And when this fellow was off, he could. But the guys who came in to replace Chris, like Grayson Allen, the other guy, I keep forgetting his name. Didn't work out that much. It was close. But in those games when Giannis went cold, the other fellows couldn't really step up, and I was quite disappointed. Bobby Portis, I think, one of the guys who actually had a good breakout season this year. Tyrese Maxey, Bobby Portis. I feel Shake Milton had a problem with them bring Harden in and all that. But yeah, man, disappointed lah. I wish the Bucks made it, man, because Heat and Celtics, it might even be a sweep in the finals with Golden State. So last thing before we go,
my boys ain't going out like that.
Okay, let's put some predictions. Let's just say if the Celtics make it to Golden State, who will win, Jason?
I think Golden State will win. I think it'll be a 6-game series.
6 games. Joe?
I will also go for Golden State by 7.
Shit, man. I want to go.
Come on, baby.
I don't want Golden State. I'm going Celtics will win.
I hope
6.
you're right.
I'm going Celtics win
Celtics
in 6.
in 6. Wow.
Celtics in 6. I'm not going to say Celtics in 6. I'm going Celtics in 6. Let's go.
Nice.
Put your ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in, put your money in bet and lose it. Now, who do y'all think were this is the last thing before we go. Who do y'all think were the breakout players this season besides Jordan Poole?
Breakout for next season.
This season.
Oh, this season.
Besides Jordan Poole, yeah. I think he's the best.
What's his name? The shooting guard in Memphis.
Bain. What's his name? Desmond Bain.
Bain.
Actually, that's true.
He is probably because I had him and also Poole in my fantasy. They just been unbelievable. They play really well. And Desmond Bain, I actually pick him up from the waiver wire.
Yeah. When somebody
drafted him.
Yeah. When somebody was injured, from the team.
And Poole was, people dropped him, late. Desmond Bain is just, no one would think that he's gonna play like this. And then if I think he also looked to me that he was hurt during playoff as well. He didn't play really well. But if he didn't get hurt, maybe Memphis might play better against Warriors. Yeah.
Anybody else can think of any centers, whatever, point guard?
I think who had a great season was Maxey. Maxey beasted it up. Like he's the number 2. He's the number 2 in Philly, and there's something wrong with that.
Something what happened with Tobias. He was bad.
Rolls off the tongue, man. Tobias is maybe he's number 4. Tobias is maybe a number 4. But you contact it with Golden State. if Wiggins is an all-star and he made the all-star team, I think he's underrated. I think he's done some really good things. But if he's your fourth best player, wow, you've got a damn good team. You've got a damn good team, huh?
Okay. Who else besides Maxi? What do you guys think about like Tyrese Halliburton? A bit blown up. He had more time when he moved from somewhere to Indiana, right? And then he had more playtime, more points. I was just watching fantasy. I didn't really pay attention to his career. What do you think? A lot of people rating him.
I wouldn't say it's breakout. He was drafted, quite early, so mid round. But he outperformed his sort of draft positions, right? And then I guess the situation also helping quite a bit. Like Fox was hurt, didn't play, and then he became a starting point guard. And then when he moved to Indiana, it's the same. Basically, they give him all the opportunity to shine. So I think he's gonna be really good next year. I think that the other person who break out this year is DeJounte Murray from San Antonio.
Oh yeah, he's beasted it up, man.
He's like a first rounder this year. Unbelievable.
He was the point guard who eventually replaced Parker, wasn't he? Yeah.
And unfortunately, he tore his ACL, right? And he missed the whole season, I think 2 years ago. And then he just basically, went from, I think he was the second round draft pick, and then now become like an all-star, right, this year.
They cultivate. They've got an amazing culture, but they've got a good eye for talent as well. That franchise, they do it really well. Like Golden State and OKC before them, they do it well. But the best one,
Josh Giddey,
is the Boston Celtics, mate. The breakout player of the year, Jason Tatum.
Oh,
mate, he's a genuine superstar. He's a genuine superstar. What are your thoughts on that?
I was asking for like players that we like new players. Sure. But if you're talking about the guys who taking the next level to superstardom, I think the one who made the loudest shout, in my opinion, is Ja. But Jason is second, man. I was like, I'm looking at the early points, and then when they started losing 4 games in a row, and then Marcus Smart came out and said, both you motherfuckers are not passing the ball enough. I love that. Boom, change. Then they went through the cycle up and down. When Robert came back, win a lot. Robert out, trying to find a replacement. And then after that, this motherfucker went lights out. So yeah, my number one would be Ja. My number 2 is superstardom. Huh? Like we're talking like now all-star, whatever. This guy fucking lights out.
I think Tatum's legit top 4, top 5 player.
Lakers should have taken him instead of what's that stupid fuck Lonzo in that draft.
But, how amazing is What
a shit, man! Franchise player, world class.
Respect. Truly. I thought Brown was going to take a massive leap this year. He played really, really well, but Jason turned out to be the one who took the biggest leap in that franchise.
Yeah, but Jason is the man in that town. What do you think about Jalen Brunson?
He's really good, but he's just too small. I think where Mavs are is really interesting, right? It was disappointing with Kristaps. I thought they got a steal when they took him from New York, but after injuries, he's just not the same player. And then they moved on from him. They don't really have. They need a number 2. Brunson can't be a number 2 on a championship team. Maybe 3, maybe 4.
All right, let me see who else I can think of. 1 or 2 other names here I wanted to ask about. I don't know why Anthony Edwards for me is also not really breakout because last year first season, now second season, he's going to carry Minnesota.
He's a good player, man. He is a beast. Built like a tank.
I think he's going to surpass Towns. I think he's going to be the number 1 player in the Wolves.
True. He's
what are your
less
thoughts
injured.
on Towns? What are your thoughts on Towns? Is he a franchise cornerstone?
Because Joe, you go, Joe.
I think it's about that dog mentality. I think he's a good number two.
I think he's an amazing number two.
Yeah, I think Anthony Edwards, the way he talks, he thinks he's the best player in NBA.
Well, he's
he's
the alpha on that team.
Yeah, that's right.
Anthony Edwards,
he's a bit like AD. I think he's a bit like AD. You know, he got stats, but you know, in terms of carrying,
actually winning,
winning, probably not. But he's still very good.
Oh, he's an excellent player, but he's not a number one.
Because of what happened the last 2 years with the COVID, he hardly played, and then this year he kind of came back, but he still didn't take them to the high playoffs. I want to see them give Anthony Edwards more of the ball. And KAT, you know why I rate KAT so highly? I look at the fantasy, the guy crazy, bro. Like with the blocks and the trees also, you know. It's like, oh, fucker can shoot three, nice.
Oh, he is a phenomenally skilled center. Phenomenal.
Can do everything. And then the other fellow I thought who put it very well was Bam Adebayo. So I don't have any Heat guys on my team, so I wasn't. But once in a while I check, like, damn, Bam also, like, but he's not breakout. We already know he's good. We expected it. But damn, dude, insane. But if I put both of them side by side, he asked me to pick, I'll take KAT anytime.
Oh, no, it's not even close.
Yeah. I think
Bam's all right.
Yeah. What do y'all? Okay, breakout enough. Last thing, one more. I want to talk about MVP and all that. They just gave maybe after LeBron, my favorite player in the NBA, the Joker, 260 million for 5 years. So you do the math, he already hit that 50 mil per year. He is now the highest paid player in the NBA. What y'all think of that?
Well deserved. I think you can argue that he is one of the breakout players this year as well. He won the MVP last year, but this year he even played better. I think. He basically single-handedly carry Denver into playoff. All the other players are injured, and he just basically does everything. And yeah, I think well deserved. But I think the only thing is now their GM is leaving, so I'm not sure how that's gonna turn out. It's what's his name again?
Denver
GM, right? Yeah, hold
up. Shit, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, you got George Payton.
What? Sorry, what's his
George
name?
Payton? Is it George Payton?
No.
He's GM. Denver. Exactly.
The one that is going to Timberwolves.
Tim Connolly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Tim Connolly. Okay.
He's
that's interesting, huh?
Unbelievable. He basically built this Denver team from scratch, right? And it's
bro, for an exec, he's getting 5 years, 40 million. Wow. Okay. Jason, what do you think? 5 years.
I think he's worth the money. He wasn't my MVP. But I think he's worth the money. He's phenomenal. He's the best passing.
Who's your MVP?
I was actually going for Giannis.
Oh, okay.
I think he
had who's your MVP?
Probably Jokic.
Okay. So Jason, continue Giannis, and then probably because
I think winning counts. Like the Joker did as much as he could. They were ranked sixth or something like that. And the only other time that it's been awarded that low was the triple double year with Russ. So I think Giannis had he carried that team. They had a lot of injuries in their front court with Middleton, and then their center out as well. So and they got a really good record, and his numbers are great.
So it was never Joel Embiid, for both of you. He was never in the discussions,
Joel for me was second, and then it was Jokic.
I always went you're right, because of the winning and all that. I thought for the longest time it was Joel Embiid. Then the writers started going towards Jokic because hardly injured, played a lot. Embiid missed quite a few games at one point, and then the moment you're not in the news, everyone it sways to the next person. So I know he put a shout out for it. Maybe I'm a bit biased, but I'm watching the basketball and I think this guy is fucking incredible. That's number one. We've seen before MVP never really go to the guy with the highest stat. The season where Kevin Garnett should have won or where Shaq should have won, he went to Steve Nash. All those things, And I was going to go number one, Jokic, and just sentimentally, I was going to go number two, Embiid. But I would not have had a problem if Joel Embiid won the MVP, because he was on my fantasy this season, and I made a conscious effort last season, always take new fellas. The next season, I said, take this boy lah. Let's just see how he plays.
Yeah.
Super. He may be a dick or whatever shit and all that, a little fuck boy, whatever, but he played very, very, very well this season. So it was very close. So anyway, okay, on that, I would like to end the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, and tag my guys, Jason and Joe. Thank you all for tuning in. I know the game's on Monday. We won't have time to do a finals preview because it's a weekday. Everyone's busy. But maybe next weekend or whatever, let's see what the score is, and then we'll talk about it. And then once the thing is over, we must do a season recap. Okay? So anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning me. Ladies and gentlemen, until next